Where are home prices going in 2024? We're here to talk about it on Today in Mortgages. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. We're talking about what's real, what's hype, and what you should actually be paying attention to out there in the world of mortgage and real estate news. It is Today in Mortgage, and it's 2024. I've got Rich Jefferson, the man, the myth, the legend, here with me again today. Rich, you ready to talk about some home prices?
Let's do it.
Yeah, so, we've been talking about this, pretty much since the show started. So today we are pulling from an article that we saw in Housing Wire that says fewer homes will take a price cut in spring of 2024. We saw some price cuts last year. Rich, why did we see those price cuts before we get into what's happening this year?
High interest rates slowed demand. That's it.
Yeah,
Supply and
so
demand.
obviously we had, home prices skyrocket at kind of the tail end of the low interest rates that happened after COVID. And that just created a buying frenzy, which people took advantage of like crazy. Those prices couldn't last forever when interest rates went back up. We obviously all saw what happened. Some of those houses that got listed after that had to come back down off of those, I would say, unrealistic expectations, right, Rich?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I was just hyped up. Like everybody wanted to buy a home and it just drove prices up crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I just want to sit for a second, Rich, on the roller coaster that we've seen in the market. I mean, if we go back just 18 months when we were really kind of getting into the brunt of those interest rates really hitting hard. Tell me if you can think back that far, Rich, do you remember like these crazy bidding wars that were happening?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, we had just us, one company, we had some of our buyers paying $500,000 over list price. No financial contingencies, waiving all contingencies, appraisal contingencies. They were just desperate to get in, and it was
Yeah.
crazy.
Getting in before those interest rates hit. And then once those interest rates hit, obviously, like we just talked about, there was so many people listing their homes that had that, built-in expectation that they were going to get that, extra $500,000 or extra
Right.
$50,000 or, somewhere in between, because that was the norm for almost a year, it seemed like. But then homes became so much more unaffordable for the payment that they were going to that these buyers were going to have. We did start to see some of those price cuts. But now getting into the article that we have today, Rich, it says fewer homes will take a price cut in the spring of 24. Tell us why.
Well, Logan Motoshami wrote this for Housing Wire. So go back and read it for all that are interested. You'll need a subscription to Housing Wire to read the whole piece. But it's, again, if rates come down, the demand will go up. And we're already seeing, like we touched, 6%, little over 6%, and apps went crazy. Applications went crazy. They're not going crazy for refinances. They're going crazy for purchase. So we've been saying this, Michael. As the demand rises, home prices will rise. And if they don't rise, what it means is that you won't get the concessions that you are experiencing today. They're already talking by May, all of those buy downs that sellers were paying for and closing costs that sellers were, those are going to be gone. Then you're going to be in that period where you might possibly have to bid a full list price or plus some. So it's coming because we have a housing shortage. I don't want to overlook that. And we have a lot of young buyers coming to the market over the next 5 years. So there's just not enough homes for everybody.
Yeah, totally agree, Rich. I think that, when we talk about these things, and the reason we talk about them over and over is because there's so many people out there trying to time the market. And what we've seen is because of the inventory and because of the rate environment, there's not going to be a golden hour, a perfect time to pull the trigger on buying a home if you need to get in a home, if you want to get into a home right now. And so, Rich, how are we talking to our people about how to talk to their people about this market?
Well, we just need to look and show our potential home buyers the difference between buying today at a little bit higher interest rate and a more competitive market that gives the sellers giving concessions versus waiting for interest rates to come down. Then obviously demand climbs and home prices go up. So your best bet is to one, we take a look at your financial situation. If you can afford to buy a home, the one that you want, with a higher interest rate, but it'll be a lower cost of purchase, you should do it. If you can't, well, then we just have to work ways. We'll have to work different programs to get you to qualify. But it's better to buy now with the interest rates where they are and have the home prices down than to wait for interest rates to go down and home prices going up.
Yeah, and if you're out there working with a borrower or buyer that's on the fence and they do qualify, like Rich just talked about, and they can afford it, walking them through, and I wouldn't say even selling, but just walking them through what that vision of the future looks like with their trying to buy a house in a year, what that's going to look like versus today, and also the opportunity that they have to look at refinancing when rates come down. And so, we talk about it ad nauseum on because it's, important and it is the way that the market is going. And so, Rich, any thoughts on this article before we kind of wrap things up?
No, Logan always, he writes well. He uses hard data. He's an economist and in housing. So this is a really good article, and it's something you should share with borrowers, because the buyers today, they're waiting, they're on the fence. They really need to see information like this to help them make the move they really want to make. It's just a timing thing.
Yeah, it's good to look at these things for the year that we're in, 2024. And I know you and I are both excited about 2024, especially here at Network Funding. We got lots of great things cooking. And we're excited to be able to share that out there with everyone. And if you're interested to know more about the best network in mortgages, take a look at the Grow link below. We'll get you hooked up with all the information that you need to know about what that could look like in your career. And we are excited to offer and share those things with everyone out there who wants to grow in 2024. So, Rich, thank you so much for joining us today. Any final words?
No. Have a great day, Michael.
Thank you, Rich. Thanks, everyone out there, for watching and listening, and we will catch you next time on Today in Mortgages. Today in Mortgages is produced by Network Funding LP, which is an equal housing lender, NMLS 2297. The content of this program is meant to be a commentary on mortgage and real estate news, and any discussion of rates and or products should not be taken as an individual mortgage or home buying advice or pricing estimates. And any commentary on this show should not be considered a promise to make a loan. All applicants for a loan must qualify, and you should consult a professional regarding your individual loan scenarios for your financial situation. Visit our website at nflp.com/licenses for all state licensing and other legal information.